Good afternoon, yogis. How are you? It's Courtney from Grand Park. I'm really glad you're here today to practice some yoga. For today's practice, grab a pillow. It could just be like a pillow off your couch. We'll want that for a couple postures towards the end of our practice together. And let's just come to a comfortable seat. So you might actually even want to sit up on your pillow. Or you could just come to sit on the earth. You could also do this part seated on a chair. So go ahead and allow your body to ground down. Maybe close your eyes, let your shoulders settle away from your ears. And today in our practice, we're going to be working with the idea of the yoga practice as a way to move energy, to expend energy, to call in energy, to really balance the energy in the body. So before we do all that, let's just notice where we are today. So every day, every breath, every hour is a little different. So just landing, arriving into your seat, arriving into your breath. Maybe notice what your energy level is today. So are you tired? Are you feeling a little anxious? Is there a part of the body that feels a little dull or overactive? And without judging it, without making up a story, we're just noticing, we're just tuning in to ourselves, noticing what is true, what is here, what we're working with. And then from this information you're gathering about the energy in the body, how you're feeling today, what do you need to call in to bring your body into balance? So if your mind is really busy right now, if you're feeling like a little hyper or overactive, maybe you need to bring in some calm. If you're feeling really sluggish today, really drained and tired, maybe put out a call to call in more energy. So just kind of knowing what we want to bring into our practice today as we work with our bodies as they are, yeah? So go ahead and flutter your eyes open. We'll start with a balancing breath. So you're going to make a peace sign with your hands. You're going to add your thumb. You're going to place your thumb against your right nostril. The left canal of your nostril is open. And then as you inhale, start to take in breath through your left nostril for 2, 3, 4. With your 2 fingers, close the left nostril, exhale out the right for 2, 3, 4. Inhale right for 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left for 2, 3, 4. Inhale left for 2, 3, 4. Close left, exhale right for 2, 3, 4. Inhale right for 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left for 2, 3, 4. One more cycle. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Close left, exhale right for 2, 3, 4. Last inhale right for 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left for 2, 3, 4. Allow your hand to come back into your lap. Close your eyes. Maybe notice if there's any symmetry in the mind and the breath or not. Go ahead and flutter your eyes open, and then we'll come to hands and knees. So if you need to put something underneath your knees, you are always welcome to put a blanket, a towel, anything to pad the knees. You can also always double up your mat if you have one and pad the knees that way. So the wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders, the knees are stacked underneath the hips. Option 1 is tops of feet down. Option 2 is toes tucked. And then from here, let your belly drop, let your heart come through your chest. So we take a big bend in the low back here. And then exhale, round in your upper back. Imagine you could touch your belly button to your nose. Inhale, let your belly drop, let your heart come through. Exhale, curl your spine in, belly button curls in towards your nose. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl everything up and in. Find your neutral spine. Tap your right toes back. Extend your left arm long out from your shoulder. So the left thumb is up. The left shoulder is hugging back into its socket. Belly scooping into your spine. And then option 1 is to stay with your right toe down. Option 2 would be to lift up through your inner right thigh. The left foot is really active here. The right foot is really active here. The left arm is extending long. Head is in line with your spine. Fill the shape with your breath. Find lots of length here. So being pulled forward and back. Nice strong right thigh. And then exhale, hand and knee comes down. Let's take one cat-cow in between. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl into your spine. Find a neutral spine here. Let's take the left toes back. Press down into your left hand. Right arm extends out from the socket. So the right thumb is up, belly scooping into your spine. Option to stay here for balance or lifting up through your inner left thigh. Head is in line with spine. We're reaching that right arm forward. We're reaching that left heel back. Nice length here. Find breath. Call in energy if you're tired. Find a really big inhale. And then exhale, tap your hand and knee down. One more cat-cow. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl everything up and in. Find yourself in a neutral spine. This time we're going to tuck the toes. Press into your hands and lift up in your knees just an inch or so. So this takes some belly strength, some arm strength. Press into your knuckles and support yourself with what you need here. So maybe more breath. Maybe more focus. On your next exhale, release your knees down. And then let's just come to stretch the tops of the feet. So we're already in a foot stretch. You're welcome to stay here. Or starting to walk your hands back for your knees and coming to sit on your heels, finding a tall spine here. So only if this feels good to you. If this is too much, you put your hands down on the earth. So finding some space into the feet, finding some length in your heart. How's your breath? Settling your awareness on your feet. And then walking your hands forward, back to hands and knees. Release the tops of your feet. We're going to take the hands either to face your knees, so that would be a really big stretch, or you could take your hands out to the sides. So either hands to the sides or hands facing, fingertips facing the knees. We're just going to stretch out the forearms a little bit here. So again, you don't have to put full weight into your forearms. See if you can find that space with your breath to work to open something in your forearms, something in the wrists. Settle your shoulders away from your ears. Find your breath here. And then with a lot of control, send your hands back to face forward. And then from here, let's find a child's pose. So the knees are gonna come wide as your mat. If you don't have a mat that's a little wider than your hips, big toes come together, sink your hips down for your heels, and then reaching your arms forward, or you can have your hands by your feet. Now, if your forehead doesn't touch the earth naturally, you can grab that pillow that I asked you to get, and you could place the pillow underneath your forehead. If your hips don't reach your heels, you could also put the pillow underneath your hips. So the idea is we want the hips to be grounded down. We want the forehead to be grounded down. And if you don't have a pillow, you could also stack your fists and rest your forehead down there. So the idea is the hips are resting down, the forehead's resting down. Go ahead and close your eyes, and we're going to come into what's called a box breath here. So a box breath is where we breathe in for 4, we hold the breath for 4, we exhale for 4, and then we hold the breath out for 4. So if we were drawing a square, it would complete the cycle. Okay, so resting everything down. Let your exhale fall out. Through your nose, inhale for 2, 3, 4, hold the breath at top for 2, 3, 4, pause the breath for 2, 3, 4, and then exhale out for 2, 3, 4. Inhale nose for 2, 3, 4, pause breath for 2, 3, 4, exhale out, 2, 3, 4, hold breath out for 2, 3, 4. 2 more times. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4, hold breath for 2, 3, 4, let it out for 2, 3, 4, keep the breath out for 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale nose for 2, 3, 4, hold breath for 2, 3, 4, exhale out, 2, 3, 4, keep it out for 2, 3, 4. Let your breath fill back in however it wants. And then if your arms aren't already, take the arms up and overhead, make little claws for yourself, and then walk your hands over to the right about a foot, and then think about sinking back for your left heel. So we're breathing some space into the left side of our body. So it doesn't matter if the forehead touches down here or not. Walking yourself back to center, take a little walk over to the left. Think about sinking down for your right hip, breathing into the entire right side body. And then coming back to center, walk your hands back, and let's find ourselves in a seat again. So finding maybe yourself in half lotus. If that doesn't feel right to you, you could also take a cross of your ankles. So from here, we're gonna come into some circling. So hands come to your knees, your shoulders are stacked over your hips, ground your sit bones down. And then with your sit bones grounded down, you're just gonna start to circle the body. So maybe rounding into those cats and cows, so curling your spine in, sending your heart forward. You can move with my rhythm. You could also move with your own rhythm. And then we'll switch the direction the other way. So keep grounding down into your sit bones here. Really nice. Find your tall spine again. So lengthening your spine, sending your shoulders away from your ears. Your right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh, and then the left hand comes back. Find your tall spine, and then maybe start to look towards your left shoulder. So finding breath, finding length in your spine, and twisting from the length of the spine. Releasing yourself forward, switching to the other side. So the left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh, the right hand comes back to the base of your spine. And before you even think about twisting, find a really tall spine. So grow yourself up from your sit bones, and then maybe start to twist yourself so that you're gazing towards your right shoulder. Tall spine, then we twist. Find breath. From here, release yourself forward. We're going to take the left hand down to the side. The right arm's going to reach out and then up and overhead. So we're coming into a side stretch here. Ground down, especially into your right hip. And then reach your extended right arm away from your right hip. So finding space while we keep the sit bones glued to the earth. And then call in the energy you need. So either call in some energy or see if you can release energy on those exhales. On your inhale, find your way back to center. The right hand comes down, and then the left arm reaches out. And then the left arm reaches up and over our ear. Ground down into your left sit bone. Twist your heart up towards the sky. How's your breath? Breathe what you need up and along your left side body. So as much space as feels comfortable between your left hip and your left fingertips. From here, find your way back to center. And we're just going to roll out the wrists a little bit here. So you're going to just kind of start to make a little fist and then just kind of roll out your wrists. You can make it into like a little dance rave. I've never been to a rave, but this is what it looks like they do. And then take your circling the other way. Really nice. Let's send our arms wide on our inhale. And then exhale, give yourself a hug. Let your arm cross over the other. Really give yourself a squeeze. Inhale, spread your arms wide. Exhale, other arm crosses in front. Give yourself a squeeze. Inhale, arms reach out. Pause there. Send your elbows down away from your shoulders. Heart reaching tall for the sky. And then exhale, your hands come down to the earth. Really nice. We're going to connect some breath with movement here. So again, decide if you want to call in more energy or if you want to release energy. If you're calling in energy, be a really good inhaler. And if you're trying to expend energy, be a really good exhaler. Here we go. Exhale your breath out. Inhale, rise your arms to the sky. Exhale, take your hands down to the earth. Press all the stale energy out. Inhale, rise your arms tall. Exhale, take your hands down to the earth. One more time. Inhale, rise your arms tall. Exhale, release yourself down. From here, let's make our little angel wings. So fingertips come to your shoulders. And then we'll just start to circle the elbows down and around and up and back down. So really slow, intentional circles. Tracing, drawing circles with your elbows out to the sides. We'll switch the other direction. So elbows come down and around and up and down. Drawing in the other direction. Really nice, you all. Release your arms down. This time we're going to take the legs out into a straddle. So a straddle doesn't mean like a big gym straddle. It's a straddle where we can keep the toes facing up to the sky. Grab your pillow if it's accessible. Place it in between your thighs here. And then we're just gonna maybe use the pillow, maybe not. So we're just gonna have it as a standby. So first, just get acclimated with the backs of the legs. So remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need. You can take your feet in a little bit if the stretch is too much. Toes pointing up to the sky. And then from here, let's just take a couple breaths into the backs of our legs. Find our tall spine. And then from here, to any amount, start to walk yourself forward. Maybe you use your pillow as a little resting place. If you're really bendy in your legs, maybe you take the pillow out as a rest for your forehead, but keep the toes facing up. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your heart being the thing that's moving forward. So we always want to lift and move with our hearts. In yoga, the heart chakra is the center of ourselves, moving from the space of our heart. And it also keeps our spine nice and long when we move from the heart. So finding that lift of your heart, sending your shoulders away from your ears, breathe into the backs of your legs, either releasing energy, calling energy in. On your next inhale, walk yourself up. And then we're just going to add a little side stretch here. So maybe take the pillow to the inner left thigh. Rest your left forearm down on the pillow. And then we'll reach the right arm out to the side. And then we'll reach the right arm up and over for the left toe. But the heart is reaching up to the sky. So we're not collapsing in the chest. If you can reach your toe and keep your heart reaching up, then that's fine. But the goal isn't to grab the toe. The goal is to find a lift of our heart and find a side body stretch on the right. So the pillow is underneath the forearm on the left. You don't have to use the pillow if you don't need it. On your next inhale, lift yourself up. And then this time we're going to come to frame the extended left leg. So pillow is just to the side on this one. So come to frame your extended leg. The left shoulder is reaching back. And then maybe you stay here. So we're working with the twist here. Left shoulder is reaching back. Or you can start to walk yourself out along your extended left leg. If that feels right, reaching your heart for your left pinky toe. If that feels good to you, you can also stay up. Find a couple breaths here. And then as you inhale, walk yourself up, and then we'll switch to the other side. So this time the pillow is coming down inside the right thigh. The outside of your right forearm is resting down on the pillow. Left arm reaches out to the left, and then the left arm reaches up and over for our toes. The heart is lifting for the sky. And the goal is not to reach the toes. The goal is to reach the heart up towards the sky. Find a couple breaths here. Remember, you can bend your knees if the backs of the legs need support. You could also put towels, blankets underneath the backs of your thighs to bring the earth closer to you so you can release and open in the legs. On your next inhale, rise yourself up. And then we'll come to frame the extended right leg. The right shoulder is reaching back. And then this might be enough for us, or we start to walk the heart for your right pinky toe. So twisting in your upper back, your mid back. Doesn't have to be a big fold to feel much. From here, walk yourself up. And then we're gonna take one more forward fold. This time we're gonna close the legs. So we're making an L shape with the body. If you need to find a little space for the backs of your thighs, this is a great place to sit up on something that creates a little more space. Or you can just sit flush on the earth. Legs are bent into an L. The thighs are pressing down. The feet are flexed. Find length in your spine and then send your heart for your toes to any amount. So spine is reaching, heart is reaching. We're not curled in our spine. The heart is reaching up for the sky. And then we start to fold our heart towards our toes. Feel yourself into the backs of your legs here. Find some breaths. Soften your jaw. Find space in your neck by a little tuck of your chin to your chest. Keep your heart reaching for your toes. And then on your next inhale, rise yourself up. Bend your knees. Place the soles of your feet where your knees just were. Take your arms out to the side. We're going to engage the core. So pull your belly into your spine, lift your heart up, and then start to set yourself down on your mat, little piece by little piece. So using your core to do the work to set you down. Really nice, everyone. So from your back, make sure you have your pillow in a place where you can easily grab it. So soles of the feet down to the earth, fingertips graze your heel. So we're gonna come in for a few bridge poses. Bridge pose is a really great way to find energy in the body. So a lot of times we get a little rush of energy after back bends. So we'll come into 3 of these and then we're gonna come into a supported bridge with the pillow. So fingertips graze your heels, knees are stacked over your ankles. Press down into your feet, rise your thighs up, and then send your knees forward. So if you had laser beams in your knees, they would be shooting forward. Find a little tuck of your shoulders, press into your forearms here, or you can find an interlace and tuck your shoulders even more. So press into your feet, rise your thighs tall. And if you need to look at what I'm doing, come down out of the pose instead of moving your neck in this pose. So we want to protect the neck here. Keep pressing down, rise your thighs, call in the energy this pose requires. And then as you exhale, set your hips down, place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Let everything go. Maybe feel a little rush of energy, a new rush of blood come in. We're going to come in 2 more times. So press down into your feet, rise your thighs, knees point forward, interlace hands or press into forearms. Find height by pressing down into the earth. So press the feet down, rise the thighs up. Forearms are pressing down, shoulders are coming away from ears. One more big breath. And then exhale, tap it all down. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Take a big breath for yourself. Maybe feel that rush of energy. And then last active bridge pose. Press down into your feet, rise your thighs, find your interlace. Maybe tuck your shoulders. Rise tall in your bridge. So knees point forward, thighs are really working here. Feet are pressing down. Work with the floor. Work with whatever is supporting you to hold you up here. And then as you exhale, release everything down. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Take a breath. And then from here, grab that pillow, take it the wide way at the hip, and then press down into your feet to rise your hips enough to slide the pillow underneath your hips. So if you have pants on, the top of the pillow would be kind of at your waistline. We want it to feel like the hips are being supported. So it's almost like we were lifting our hips, except we don't have to do any of the work. So from here, find a position that feels good with your hands, maybe hands on your belly, maybe arms out to the side, whatever feels good. We're going to come into some anchoring breaths. So it helps me to close the eyes. And an anchoring breath is just like the anchor of a boat. So we're just rooting the boat. We're rooting our breath in one area of the body so that we feel stable and steady. So we're going to do our anchoring breath in our belly. So as you start to take in breath and release breath, see if you can let the breath fill into your belly and let the breath release from your belly. So do a few of these on your own. Inhale into the belly. Release into your belly. Get really curious about the movement of breath in your belly and your low back. Take a few more on your own. From here, we'll hug the right knee in towards the right shoulder, making an interlace with your hands below your knee, and then send your left leg long. So just an upper thigh stretch here. Keep working your right knee towards your right shoulder. Think about sending your left heel as far away from you as you can. So flexing in the left foot. Take a couple breaths into your hips here. And then switching to the other side. So left knee hugs in, right leg extends out. Gently pull the left knee towards the left shoulder. Flex into your right foot. Send your right heel away from your hip as you send your left knee up for your shoulder. Take a couple breaths here. From here, hug both your knees in and then set your feet back down. We'll come to open in the neck a little bit here. So from here, to me, it feels best to have the soles of the feet down, knees bent. You could also extend your legs out if that feels better to you for some reason. So listen to yourself. Everything I say is just a suggestion. You listen to the intuition of your own body. So from here, we're just going to start to make no's with our neck. So no, no, no. We don't want that, whatever it is. So starting to let this kind of feel like a massage for your head. Let your hair just kind of squish back and forth. If it feels good to pause and just get a little neck stretch, you're welcome to do that. And then find your way back to neutral. We're going to make just a gentle yes. So slight tuck of your chin to your chest to release the back of your neck. And then slight lift of your chin. Maybe look up over your head just a little bit. So little yeses. Take a few of these, letting your head crawl upon the floor. And then from here, let's lift our hips up, slide the pillow out, have it nearby. We'll come into a hip stretch. So soles of the feet on the earth, knees are bent. Rise your right foot tall, cross your right ankle over your left thigh for figure 4. And then just see what's going on in the right hip today. So sometimes this is enough. If you feel like you have a little bit more space, hug your left knee in for your left shoulder, thread your right hand through the space between your legs, and find an interlace below your left knee or to the back of your left thigh. So if you did that and your hips and your low back came up, please place your feet back, your left foot back on the earth. And then let's all check in with our shoulders, send them away from the ears. Maybe close your eyes, feel into your hip here. And then we're just gonna press out some tension, some stale energy that gets stuck in our hip by really focusing on our exhales here. So we're gonna inhale for a count of 4. And then we're going to exhale for a count of 6. So seeing if we can make our exhales really long. So go ahead, let your breath fall out. Through your nose, inhale for 2, 3, 4. Through your nose, exhale for 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. 2 more times. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then allow yourself to release out of that side. So both feet come back to the earth. Left foot rises tall. Left ankle crosses over your right thigh, figure 4. And then deciding, checking in with your outer left hip, you're already in a hip stretch. So option to stay here if this feels really good or a little tight today. If you think you have a little more space and want to see, hug your right knee in. Keep your low back on the earth. If the low back comes up, remember, tap your right foot down. And then if the right knee is up, thread your left hand through the space between your thighs. Find an interlace either below your right knee or to the back of your right thigh. Settle your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe close your eyes. We're going to press some stale energy, some tension out of this hip. So we'll come in for that 4 count breath, 6 count exhale. Let the breath fall out. Through your nose, inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release out of this side. And then we'll find our way to whatever version of happy baby works for us today. So maybe grabbing outsides of the feet. If the hips come up off the earth, grab to the backs of your thighs or your calves. If you have the feet, think about kicking the feet up to the sky as you pull the feet down towards your shoulders. And then feel into your hips here. Take some breaths. Really press anything out with your exhale. And then from here, release. We're going to do one more thing for the shoulders. So you're going to grab your pillow. You're going to come onto your right side, and you're going to place the pillow between your knees. So we're coming to stack the right, we're stacking the right arm underneath the ear. The knees are stacked on top of each other, and the pillow is between the legs. Your fingertips come to your shoulders, so we have that little kind of wing again, and we're just going to circle one more time. So drawing circles here, taking the circles back, and then switching the circles the other direction. From here, set that left hand down with the least amount of effort. Press yourself up, and then we'll switch to the other side. So laying onto your left side, pillow between your thighs. Come to lay out over your left arm. Rest your head down, fingertips to your right shoulder, and then one more little circling towards the back. And then switching the direction of your circles. Really nice. From here, let's just come to lay on the back. Have your pillow, and then just see what it feels like to place the pillow underneath the backs of your thighs. So to me, that feels really nice to have that support. If that doesn't feel good to you, you do not have to use the pillow. You also might want to come back into that supported bridge pose. Maybe that feels nice for your final rest. So find whatever position is going to be most comfortable for you to take some final breaths and rest. So from here, let yourself settle down. Let your bones be heavy. Let your muscles be heavy. We're just going to come into 2 breaths together. So we'll come in for a 4 count inhale. We'll pause for 4. We'll exhale for 4. We'll pause for 4. We'll do that for 2 rounds of breath. Go ahead and let your breath fall out. Through your nose, inhale for 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale out. 2, 3, 4. Hold out. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause breath. 2, 3, 4. Hold out. Exhale out. 2, 3, 4. Release out for 2, 3, 4. And then just find the breath coming back in however it wants. We'll rest here for just 30 seconds. Just give yourself over to the weight of the floor, releasing everything out. Start to call in breath. Start to find some gentle movements in your hands, your feet, some little wiggles. Eventually rolling over to your side and pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Draw your hands at your heart. Bow your chin into your chest and just notice how you're feeling. Maybe there's a little bit more balance. Maybe you called in energy or released energy. Whatever it is, I hope you feel a little bit better. The light in me acknowledges the light in all of you. Thank you so much for being here today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.